I'm delighted to be joined here today with Marie Donnellan, CEO with Platform 94. Hi Marie, thanks for taking the time to chat with me today. I'm reaching out as part of the UnicornQuest Interreg Europe project, which WestBic is a partner in. The project focuses on strengthening startup ecosystems and supporting high growth companies across different regions. We're interviewing key stakeholders like yourself to gain insights into how regions like Galway are fostering innovation and entrepreneurship. Before we dive into the questions, could you briefly introduce yourself and your role here at Platform 94?
Yeah, great. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me, Niamh. I'm delighted to take part. And yeah, so my name is Marie, as you said, and I'm the CEO of Platform 94. And what Platform 94 is effectively a business that helps scaling businesses throughout the region to scale internationally. So we have a headquarters here in Galway, which is 4 floors and is home to over 80 companies, all kind of in the technology space, all looking to international scaling. And then we also have a regional community of scaling businesses called Scale by Platform 94 throughout the wider west and northwest of Ireland.
Perfect. And Platform 94 plays a key role in Galway's innovation landscape. Can you tell us more about what you do and how Platform 94 supports startups and high growth businesses?
Yeah, sure. So I guess there's probably a number of layers to that. But first of all, in terms of our HQ, we provide space for businesses to grow. So it's primarily individual office units that we would have here. So companies would come here when they are already established. Our smallest space is a 4-person space, and then they go upwards, largely upwards from there. So I guess we support businesses with that next step in the journey when they're kind of coming out of an incubator or when they've kind of come out of the initial startup phase and are now looking to scale. So we will first of all provide them with the physical space to do that, and obviously we would have a number of supports here, and physical supports and meeting rooms and a media suite and boardrooms and all the kind of facilities and structures that they would need. And then outside of that, we will provide a wider range of supports around actually helping them, be it in attracting new talent, be it in building their brand and trying to differentiate themselves, be it in connecting them with counterparts in a particular region that they're trying to expand into. It depends kind of on the particular business and where they're going and what they need. But I guess I would see us as great facilitators to their growth, so that it's not that we're maybe trying to solve every problem they have, but it's that any challenges they're having, that we would know somebody that can help them, and we would put them in touch with that person.
Okay. Galway is a hub for entrepreneurship in Ireland's West region. What do you think makes it a strong location for startups, especially high growth sectors?
Wow, okay, well, I think Galway, I'm from the west of Ireland myself, so obviously I think it's a fantastic region, but I think Galway is really special. I do, obviously as part of a wider region, but I think Galway has something very special about it. But I think there's a few things. So first of all, location. The west of Ireland, we're neighbours. Our next door neighbour is the US, and yet we're the foothold of Europe, and obviously we're right beside the UK and have a very close trade relationship. So our location in the world is fantastic. And then there's lots of great things going for the region like Galway, the talent pool, the universities. I mean, I guess the pool and array of support services available to businesses. And I think that the camaraderie and the community is really, really strong, and kind of businesses and even ecosystem players coming together to genuinely work together for the greater good of the companies, I think is stronger in this region than anywhere else that I've seen. And that's what companies need, and that's what companies want, is that people who put their needs kind of before anything else. And I think that works really, really well. But definitely the talent pool and the cost of doing business and the cost of living for those people, etc. And the standard of living is much better with shorter commute times, etc. So it's not one thing, I would say, it's a wide package of advantages that come together to create something very special.
Okay. One of the main goals of the UnicornQuest project is to help startups scale and expand internationally. What support structures exist in this region to help businesses grow beyond local markets?
Yeah, so I mean, again, there's varying supports depending on what stage the business is at and where they're trying to expand to. So, like, I guess traditionally the UK has been a strong first next step, we'll call it, for Irish businesses because of its proximity and the cost of setting up there. So, to use that just as an initial example, we would first of all help companies with like market readiness in terms of are they ready to expand to the UK, and kind of an Enterprise Ireland UK would be a great help in that regard in terms of assessing companies and helping them with the research and analysing are they ready to expand. And then, you know, once they are and they're kind of looking to go into particular regions, we can help with a kind of tangible starting and kicking off in that particular market. And that's not to say you're going to go and open a 20-person office on day one. You know, it's testing the market and just establishing relationships and establishing a small foothold there that you can then build. And then that kind of structure applies to the wider, you know, Europe and also to the US. So again, we would try and have partners in different regions that would then be able to help our companies expanding into those areas.
Okay, a big challenge for startups is attracting and retaining top talent, as you spoke about already. What strategies or initiatives have been successful in keeping skilled professionals in Galway rather than seeing them move to larger cities or abroad?
Yeah, so I would say the talent pool in Galway is world class. It really is. And I would say the challenge for our scaling businesses is really differentiating themselves. Like the pool of skilled talent is amazing, but they're competing with the multinationals. You know, we have a large multinational footprint in this region, which is hugely beneficial for the scaling companies, you know, and it's very much a two-way ecosystem that works really well. But for scaling companies, you're then having to differentiate yourself against multinationals, you know, because you're competing and you're not going to be able to compete on salaries and things like that. So it's how do you differentiate yourself? And that's really around really meaningful career development opportunities and opportunities that you can get in an Irish scaling business that you couldn't get in a larger corporate, you know. But I would say in terms of the pool of talent in the region, it's incredibly strong. There's just a fight for the talent that is there. Yeah.
Okay. Some startups struggle to stay in their home regions due to scaling challenges or investment gaps. From your experience, what are the biggest obstacles that high growth enterprises face in staying within the west of Ireland?
So I would say any obstacles to scaling are not specific to the west of Ireland. They're the standard scaling obstacles around talent acquisition, around access to funding, etc. But I think we're at a really special time in our lives in this region where, you know, we have a world of opportunities available to us, and even in terms of accessing funding, you know, we're so connected now to Europe, to the US, you know, we can we're not just looking internally to Ireland and at Irish investors. And look, there's some great deals being done in Ireland, but the pool of investors is a lot smaller. So now I guess we're more connected than ever before, that you can jump on a call with a US investor, the European, and obviously the travel is fantastic, and the west of Ireland is very well served in terms of airports and routes, and it could always improve and is continuously improving. But I think we have a world of opportunities open to us that we didn't have before, and that actually we have a number of advantages that other regions don't have. Like I said, a really lovely standard of living, and, you know, low commute times, and a really special camaraderie and sense of community that actually in many ways make it easier to do business and to grow a business than you would in other regions.
Okay. And then finally, looking ahead, what do you think can be done to further improve Galway's startup ecosystem and ensure that companies can scale successfully while remaining in the region?
Yeah, so I would probably say community, and this is something we're really strong on ourselves and trying to build out our Scale by Platform 94, because there's huge opportunities for collaboration between companies. And I think that would really help companies get to market faster, because with the pace of technology advancement that we're seeing at the moment, you know, it's only going to become faster and faster and faster as we go forward. So companies need to get ideas and get things to market very quickly. And, you know, an obvious way of doing that is collaborating with another company rather than having to create that particular area yourself or having to start that from scratch. If you can collaborate with another great company in the region on something and get to market very quickly, that's hugely successful all around, you know. So I would say, I mean, there's also great opportunities to become customers, suppliers, potential acquirers. So I would say community. The community we have is really strong, and like I said, I think the region is very special, but I think we could definitely do better at those tangible collaboration opportunities where businesses are physically working together in order to get to market a lot faster.
Okay. That's been extremely insightful, and it'll be very, very worthy to our UnicornQuest followers. Thanks again, Marie. WestBic are very lucky to be a tenant within Platform 94. We'd like to promote your business through our video notes. So if you wouldn't mind letting our followers know how they would get in touch with Platform 94 or to follow your story.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, if they're ever in Galway, they're welcome to come in and visit us firsthand for a tour and for an overview of what we do. But like at a basic level, you can visit our website, platform94.com. You can follow us on, we have quite a strong LinkedIn following. You can follow us on LinkedIn, or you can reach out to myself directly online as well.
That's brilliant. Yeah. Thanks a million, Marie.